gain up. Check. Republic. Check.
Let's see. Yeah. I'm here now. Yeah.
I think it's good. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Break Knyte podcast, where we talk about being creative and all the stuff that inspires us to be creative. I am your host, Craven Knight, a master of too many frickin' things. Well, barely a master, but I do too many frickin' things. And with me, as per usual, is the man, the myth, the dude, my bodyguard, my other things, my personal artist, the guy that I make shit for. What else can I tag on to there? Dad, just introduce yourself.
I am the man with the master plan, also one of the cohorts of Amberland Studios. My name is Sean, the man Iredale, and we are here to bring you the freshest content, aka all the stuff that we've been living over this past month. We have been naked and sad without you fans out there. We're sorry we haven't been giving you all the content that you deserve. However, we also have lives, and I poop a lot. So, just...
The whole day is ruined because he has to poop.
So, just had to catch up on all the shit. You know, the first podcast of 2018. New year, new cast, baby. Well, we can put that in post. But anyway,
this is going live to tape. Fuck all that shit. Fuck I got too much things to do to freaking edit all that audio. Shit.
So,
I just like throwing editing audio onto a resume, so it makes it sound interesting.
Audio editor. So, let's start a little bit with what we like to start off and do. And that's talk about the creative stuff that we have been doing before and after the holidays. So what you been up to, Craven?
I've been up to quite a few things. Having that, I talked about doing the wrestling gear commission for the girl, the two girls. It was for a female tag team that's based out of Florida. And... okay. Yeah, and if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post the picture. I actually deleted the picture because I was so ashamed of it because it didn't come out all that great. She sent me a picture of how it looked while it was on, and it looked horrible. But this was agreed on in the beginning that this was a practice commission. I charge a very low rate to pretty much be paid to practice to do something for the female form because that's something I've never done before. And there's certain things that I should have done differently. But mainly, I had a lot of things working against me. Number one, time. I had to cram this within right after Christmas. Before the 6th of January, so I had a very short time frame to complete this. On top of that, I had to work with vinyl, which can be very difficult to work with because the seams want to break. I tried to reinforce them best I could, and also trying to work with and try and do a pattern, make patterns for body type that's totally different. Making bottoms for a woman is totally different than making trunks for a man.
Women. Bottoms. Am I right? Sorry.
And then I have to make a top and really have to try and keep in it.
Women. Tops. Am I right?
And keep in account, or take in account the fact that, the material isn't going to stretch as much, that certain forms are way different, and I never really done tops in this sense and all that, so certain things I definitely could do differently. After she sent me a picture, my mind was just completely just going crazy with different math equations.
I'm an idiot!
Trust me, I felt fucking miserable, but my mind was going crazy just trying to figure out what I could have done differently. And luckily, I have a friend of mine that's on the inside world that is going to kind of put me in touch with somebody who is whose expertise is wrestling gear and makes wrestling gear for some of the top talents in the world of professional wrestling.
That's huge.
And that is a really fucking big deal. And so I'm kind of excited to do that. But after this gear, I was kind of so worn out that I really want to give myself a little bit of a break from actually making stuff for the most part. I'm currently kind of working on something only because this friend of mine, who is kind of well-known, I'll say that much, well-known in the, as a cruiserweight, if I can say that. But, he's well-known, and he made things easy for me, provided me material. He told me exactly what he wanted. He doesn't need any designs. It's really just taking the material, making trunks and knee pads, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's all I'm really going to say about that, because,
And that's all I'm going to say.
But, that's pretty much the only thing I'm doing, because making trunks and knee pads from scratch is one of the main things that I'm really good at doing just right off the bat. So, But yeah, other than that, a couple of cool things. Because you know me, I like stretching out so many different fields.
Yeah, that's why I call you four-way stretch.
Yeah, there's another thing I wanted. That's fucking perfect. Oh my god. I wanted to get
my friend, four-way stretch. He likes his crotch to breathe, and he also likes to do a bunch of creative things.
Oh my god, I never even thought of that. Makes so much sense. Jesus.
Go ahead.
But no, another shirt that I thought would have been perfect was Jackass of all trades. But anyway, fucking I am friends with a dude on Facebook after making that Ace Ventura hairpiece. You follow me on YouTube and on Instagram. You've seen me do it. He saw it and he became friends with me because I posted on different pages on Facebook, and he loved it. Gave me a great compliment saying how like he would love to work with me someday and all that stuff, which was very cool to hear from anyone. But I knew this guy's a prop master in New York, and but I didn't really know much about him. Didn't do my research on it because I didn't feel it was necessary. I just thought it was just another friend that I added. And then because I knew he was a prop master in New York, I asked him for some advice on the idea of possibly breaking into doing props for theater.
Right.
And because everyone kept saying, why don't you just do props for theater? And it's like, that'll be an awesome thing to do. I just don't know how to break into that. And I was thinking, like, who can I ask? I know this guy, Jay Duckworth, who is a friend of mine on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people may not know that name, but you may know a lot of the actors and maybe some Broadway shows that he's been a part of.
He's done. Yeah.
So he's made props for Hamilton. He's worked with guys like John Lithgow, which I watched a video where John Lithgow has explained how he worked that he was on a Broadway show, and Jay Duckworth came up with the brilliant idea of, because John Lithgow needed a convincing steak to eat on stage, but but it couldn't be a real steak, obviously, because that would go bad. You can't eat that because you never know what can happen. You can get sick and shit. But he said Jay Duckworth was able to take a watermelon and doll it up to look like an actual steak. That's where John Lithgow can actually eat it while staying hydrated and actually consume it. And there's so many videos and so many things like on his. I did 2 hours of research on this guy, and this guy also gave me an hour of his time to just hear me out, let me vent, learn a little bit more about me while he talked to me. He gave me some sources to go to kind of learn a little bit more about him, and I did, and gave me some tips on what to do, and he wants to help me build a resume. And it wasn't just an hour of his time. He gave me a date to work on stuff, to meet with him again.
That's insane. You have a personal teacher now.
Yeah, like I have like a mentor right there, and that's like, who gets that? And this dude is literally, in comparison to most, is literally, and I've said this, depending on how you feel about the guy, is the Michael Jackson of the field that he's in. The Michael Jackson of the field that I would like to be a part of. So
real quick, so it's clearly obvious that he did not make those eggs in Batman versus Superman, right? BVS. You remember those eggs, dude? All right, for all of you out there in TV land and in podcast land, we're talking about props right now. But if you've ever seen the movie BVS, which the extended cut is good, fuck you guys. The Martha line is bad. I think it's good, yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect film, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah. Anyway, topic of discussion that is topical. But one thing that is absolute, those are the worst prop eggs ever.
Oh, when Superman...
Yes.
His gratuitous shirtless scene.
Yes, he is shirtless, listening to the TV, trying to cook human eggs. I don't know. That shit was mad rubber, yo. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, that I can tell you right now, that was not watermelon.
It is sad because someone worked hard on that.
Yeah. That all I'm saying.
That, or they just got it from some fucking store.
You know those candy like the gummies that are made to look like breakfast?
Yes.
That's what that looks like.
Oh man, that's funny.
All right, I'm sorry, but continue.
No, it's that's just
about JD Wentworth. I mean Jay Duckworth.
Yeah, and but he told me to check out this YouTube video where he does a talk, it's almost like a TED talk, but it was for a convention, and he was
sweet.
He was talking. It was 20 minutes, and it was like a speech that he did, but I feel like I didn't really get the full range of what this guy was about from it. I understand he was about prop, I feel like I have to watch it again. It made me just want to learn more and find other stuff. So I was able to find a podcast that he was a part of that was 40 minutes. I listened to that. I was able to find a bunch of videos, read a bunch of articles on him and all that stuff. He used Tide like for his stuff, even on his page, it has like using vodka to clean very like problem areas in clothing that really stinks really bad. You use vodka for it. So he has bottles of vodka for like stage like apparel or for stage, outfits and all that stuff. So it's like he has very interesting tips on like how to do stuff and how he made like candle holders for Hamilton and how he made a realistic looking fire, like kind of like a campfire, make it look like it was a real fire, but also a fire, not that it was like flames coming out of it, but a fire that was dying
smoldering
down because it's
like,
supposed because it's supposed to be dying down overnight. So using LED lights and like certain paintings and all that stuff, like just a true talent of like the paint job does the work and just really innovating how to make props look on in a live setting like stage, because that's a totally different thing, because that stuff can be manipulated in CG effects and on movies and all that stuff. Like it's a lot of things you have to work with. When you're on stage, you're very limited, so you really have like you're very talented if you can create something so convincing. And seeing what I saw is like, I am so fortunate. I almost teared up. I was so fortunate to be able to have that time and realize it after the fact. That I had the time to talk to this dude. And I'm looking forward to talking to him some more while even taking notes and figuring out like what I would put on a resume for myself as someone in the last 3 years who's been making a variety of different things. I have a lot of stuff at my disposal as far as like how the fact that I do spread myself so thin. That is what a prop maker does in the theater world. They spread themselves out in so many different avenues, and I'm very grateful to have that to my disposal. Because why be limited in an office setting when
because
I can be doing
it's like, man, to be a prop maker, it's so crazy. You have to be a jack of all trades of fake.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that just like, I always thought that was kind of nuts, though, man. It's really awesome, though.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That's another part of my life. On the first day of 2018, having the opportunity to do that. So that just says a lot about the year. And then and just some other things that I'm looking into. Just taking the time for the rest of the month to just figure other things out. Give myself time to think. To science time to do some research, do some studying, and really figure myself out. I'm even reading books on anxiety and looking at myself in a more positive light.
Yes.
To try and better myself.
Yes.
While reaching out to friends such as yourself.
Yes, friend. I am the only one.
My only
the alpha,
friend in this
the omega. I am all. I am the encompassing friend.
Yes. But also on top of that, with some wrestling gear stuff, like finally going through some inquiries or accepting some inquiries. I was holding off on them in December since I had the stuff with the girl and all that. And now I'm just kind of looking back on them and just kind of like, okay, I'll get back to this person. What do you need? What do you need? And they're getting back to me. It's like 4 different people doing a little bit of sketches, trying to get an idea of what they want and just kind of like taking my notes. So like, okay, this is what it'll cost for this and that. Just, figuring out all the inquiries and all the details and all that. So by the time I'm ready to do gear is probably when they'll get to me.
Yeah.
And all that. So while I'm focusing on other stuff. So if I'm at work, I can stay busy working by working on other stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's just...
this is how I roll.
You keep on working. That's just kind of how it works.
But that's it for me. Like, you've been pretty semi-busy yourself.
Artistically, I've just been trying to practice and hone my shit. Just because
I saw your Superman, which I thought was really sweet.
Thank you. I have a problem where I always draw Superman, and I don't know why.
That's your doodle.
Yeah,
it's like me enjoying the Power Rangers Zeal fucking symbols. That's my go-to shit.
I see it, man. I feel like you got a niche thing, and plus, I really feel like if I'm drawing a character enough, by the time I get happy with him, I can move on.
Yeah.
And I think I'm really close with Superman. I just really need to work. I need to work on my gradients, with color, and that's not all clearly, values and such, because I'm self-teaching myself at this point. But here or there. But my renders, I think, are getting far better. Work on my proportions some more, and hopefully I can pop this off the way I like. But I'm getting
at this point. What do you feel is the one main thing that really when you finish something, it looks good, but there's one thing that you feel is troubling you?
As an artist, it's never one thing, right? Yeah. Like we all know that it.
But I imagine it's probably one thing that stands out first.
Yes,
in your mind.
And honestly, it depends what I'm working on, right? Because I haven't started to work on color at all except for these last few months. This is the first time for me, so I'm trying to get my values down. So it's many things after I'm done, right? Yeah. Telling myself I'm done is like a thing before I go on to the next project. But usually with artwork in general, when it's done, it's always it's always proportion or perspective, right?
Okay.
Because perspective is like the little science teacher in you, or the little math teacher in you, in your soul deep down, that tells you that's fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Like yeah, this looks like great work, and you built this car, and oh man, it looks so great, and people are buying it. But there's that voice in the back of your head that it's just like, but you're wrong. That's how I feel. It's like, oh, look at this drawing, but that foot, it's fuck, it's off. So I was doing a lot of figure drawing and messing with bodies in space, back in posing and just messing with perspective in general of body parts. There's a lot of stuff I still need to work on, but I think I'm getting there. I just need to keep on it. Yeah. And that's the hardest thing, is I want to make sure I keep drawing. But right now, what I'm having the most fun doing is, because I'm working on these characters that are essentially on a 2D plane, because I'm illustrating quote unquote fighting game sprites of all my friends, and people I know and close friends. So far I've done, let's see, myself, L, my friend T, and I've done Jonas, and so I got 4 so far that I really like. I'm very happy with, and the people I illustrated, really awesome. I think are pretty happy with them. But the
Ellen one is really sweet.
Yeah, I really like that. But essentially, like, I'm trying to do, and I'm doing this without their permission. I just know that they would really like it.
Yeah. Fair use.
Fair use.
You exist. You're fair use.
Exactly. And I'm trying to choose people that have a lot of character. Like, I have friends that are pretty droll. No offense to them, but I'm not doing
None
you.
taken.
I'm not. Oh yeah, you got some nerve. The only guy that looks like he was drawn first. So there are people I'm going to do that are inevitable. I just want to make sure that I give the ladies in my life some love. You know what I mean? So I get them. I get. Because I don't draw women often. Yeah. It's not that I hate doing it. It's something that I'm definitely learning to do better. But I want to choose the right ladies, because I know some ladies that have some really good style. And the one, I'm working on one right now, and when she comes out, I hope she'll be happy with it, because she's a blast to draw, and she's a really good person too. So I think she'll really like it. But yeah. My plan is to get 10 to 12 characters done, and then I'll do like the UI in the background. There's an artist that I follow on Instagram. Guy's amazing. The Chamba. That dude is the sauce. But tell you honest to God truth, I don't know if male or female. I'm pretty sure it's male. It's one of those things where it's art before person, right? Yeah. So you just see all the work. But he does the same thing where except it's not sprites. It's like the versus character. So you see the characters from the chest up, you see their bust. Yeah. So you see the bust of the person versus the person. Yeah. And then he does a time lapse of him doing it too, which is really cool. But yeah. And he'll do it with random fighting game characters. Like he did a Bloody Roar one recently, which I actually want to do too. Expect a Bloody Roar image of some kind here coming out pretty soon. I want you guys to hold on to your butts on that one. But yeah. So I'm not the only one who's ever thought of this idea, but I definitely, I'm doing the whole nines. I'm doing it when you choose the character, and then their bust shows up, but also the actual bar of the character select. And then the verses, and then like a little mini world map. Now,
have you put, and I don't know if this is like your own secret idea just yet until you actually show it, like have you put much thought into specifically what the background of like the choice screen or like the area. Because like in my head, and you don't have to say whether this is the idea or not, if you don't, whether you care or not, but like in my head I think, you know, these are all your friends, these are all Minnesota, so I feel like instead of being the whole world, it would have to be Minnesota and certain key point settings in Minnesota. So I imagine like you and Ellen having a friggin' fighting match with the background being the Mall of America,
or something like that.
Or some shit like that. You know, Source Comics. So
that is where all interviews take place. Shots fired. So to tell you the truth, I didn't think of the stages yet, and that's a good one because you know, essentially I'm thinking the stages will just be like small square, like just kind of like thumbnails of where the locale would be. But that stages are coming very last. I'll probably do like one or two little thumbnails of where the stage is. Yeah. But essentially that's kind of what my map was going to be. Yeah. Was just like you know, just like a little tilted up Minnesota, and then the cities would be like extra big on them, right? That's awesome. just like Streets of Rage would do, or any of those games. I thought that would be really awesome to do. So yeah,
because like that image crossed my mind, like literally right now as you were talking about, I was like, I wonder what the stages would look like. I wonder if he would do like the whole world, kind of like Street Fighter does, or keep it minimized to Minnesota since it's all your friends in Minnesota, so it'd make more sense that way and have like certain key points kind of stand out.
So I
imagine the levels specifically is like if you were to do like either a gift or just prints or whatever, just for shits and giggles, and you did a background, just imagine a cartoon background of the Mall of America or the Source or other places.
Exactly. So what I plan on doing also, to be fair to everyone, is I think this would be really fun, is I still want a final boss character, but I don't know who I want it to be. So after I'm done with my
TJ. Oh my god. Oh, the ironic boss.
Absolutely not.
The equivalent of the
equivalent
of the old man boss that was in Mortal Kombat.
Nobody wants Leonard Literacy in there. Anyway, see, but I feel like what I think I'm gonna do, what I'm leaning towards is I want votes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about maybe starting a Facebook poll or of some kind. And then putting the picture of the person, right? And this is when it's all said and done. And just a picture of the people that I think should have it. Yeah. Not other motherfuckers voting for themselves. No. Stop stroking your own ego, assholes. Like, yes, I get it. Everybody wants to be a character, but that's not how this works.
I can bench 250. I should be the boss.
I should be the boss. But, you know, I want people to vote on who they think should be the final boss out of, like, I'd say maybe we'll say like the 8 or 6 people that I throw up. And I want to see how many votes I can get on that person. Yeah. Because I just think it would be so great. Because then whoever they pick, I have to just be like, you know, because you're the final boss. I got to put you on a pedestal. Yeah. So, you know, that it'll decipher what kind of clothes they're wearing, what kind of the pose they're doing, you know, stuff like that. You know, like, for example, the character that I'm doing now is going to have, like a helper, like a little sub. So I thought that was really great, too. I had a friend of mine who really wants to get hers done, and she wants her kids to be with her. And I'm just like, you know, I like your kids.
Kids are gross. I don't want to draw them.
Well, that, and, like, by the time I'm done with this, those kids will probably be grown. I just...
it's like, it's enough trying to do one person. You gotta do, like, what, 5 kids hovering around this church?
Yeah, but you never know. I got a couple of really good ideas for some friends of mine. Yeah. So we'll see that when they come out. But, yeah, essentially that's what I got going in my neck of the woods. I mean, other than just drawing and trying to get better, I'm also doing these sprite, like, characters, these versions of these characters. So... that's what's cracking in my neck of the woods.
Awesome. And what you were saying about, like, when you're drawing and there's that, well, like, you just keep doing the same thing, drawing the same, you keep, you know, reverting back to Superman. You keep doing Superman until you get it right, until you decide to move on. It's funny because I've always felt that way about wrestling trunks. because there's like 3 years.
Gotta make the perfect pair.
Because because I constantly kept making myself so many different pairs of trunks, not just to have a bunch of trunks. Every single pair of trunks I made was meant to be my one pair go-to trunks, but none of them were right because like there was just something I did wrong, and I realized now over the last couple of months exactly how I should have been doing trunks in the first place.
Right.
And also it all depends on the material too, so I can't use the same pattern I use for a hashtag 4-way stretch that you would use for jumbo 2-way stretch spandex. So I have to be very particular, so now I know all that shit. But
it's all a learning experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like those other pairs, which I totally forgot, I should have mentioned because it's been so long since we've recorded, the black and red and shiny black trunks that I made for myself, which I showed my buddy, and he was like, dude, these are probably the most legit looking trunks I've ever seen you make, because like of how the two-tone of like the shiny black on the pleather red on top of matte spandex, and it just looks fucking crisp and perfect.
Such a tasty combo.
Which thing is like I've always steered away from that color because that's such a common color. It's always been a common color. Now everyone wears such bright and elaborate colors that I can go back to that color and go to something like basic. And even though the execution and the final product looks freaking amazing, but I was like, I am so like I don't want like I do have 3 pairs of trunks that I could wear, like one of 3 that I can wear at this next show. But why not just make something like now that I know how to now that I've perfected how to make trunks, or at least have a style to making trunks, why not just make a new pair for myself? It's nothing for me.
Why not?
And then coming up with design and all that shit. So had the design, I knew the color scheme, I did it, and they came out good. I just feel like if I was just maybe about 10 pounds lighter, they wouldn't feel so fucking tight. I made them way too tight.
Yeah.
I feel I made the waist a little bit too tight, so it's like I should get down to like my 205 live level because I'm 211 now and shit, and like I should get a little bit less, and just because I want to shred down, but I struggle with fucking eating habits.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't hang out with me then. Maybe we should refrain for future plans. Anyway,
but like I did that, and like I still feel like
four-way stretch.
I still feel like it's not perfect, but it looks really fucking good, and I love those trunks, like how they look. That CK knowing that font I literally made myself, even though it could be a complete duplicate of something else. It wasn't an amalgamation of anything else. It was just that like me literally figuring out how to create this font for these 2 specific letters.
Right. You want me to get you a towel for your self-Markinsons?
Shut up.
All right.
Shut up.
Shut up. I think you might have some drippage in your pants, you fucking mark.
But no, but yeah, when I can execute stuff like that, it's sweet. But when I know it's not perfect, but it's like pretty damn close to what I was looking for. It's like these are my main trunks, but I keep thinking of what other colors I can do, and I dread the idea of making another pair of trunks and then having 2 options for one night when I just want to have one. But it's like now that I can make knee pads and kick pads, maybe I'll make matching knee pads and kick pads for these. I can.
You have to.
Yeah, I feel like I have to, but it's like I
owe
can.
It to yourself.
But it's like, man, I shouldn't, but I could. I already have stuff that works. I just, at least maybe some knee pads, but I don't know. But yeah, that's the deal with those trunks. Like I may be doing a matching set of shit for
future reference to everybody out there: don't bring up trunks around Craven,
because I will talk.
He will lose his mind. So now that we've got that pesky creative out of the way, let's see. What should we?
Should we tackle?
I'm debating. Well, I'll tell you what. Since we're only going to cover one film, let's go ahead and cover it. So I'm sure all of you have seen Star Wars: The Last Jedi by now.
Yeah. Everyone's talked about it to death. Everyone's seen it.
And man,
you either love it or they hate it, or they're right in the middle. Which seems to be a common trend with a lot of like these big movies.
Films nowadays, because big movies now are kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we'll just go off. I'm going to go off and say right away that I like this movie more than I disliked it. Mm-hmm. There were definitely parts that I thought were absolutely stupid, but and some parts that were a complete write-off. Yeah. I think the second I stepped foot out of the theater, I said, this movie was 20 minutes too long.
Okay.
And then the second step after that, I said, oh, man, they could have just got rid of that whole Canto Bight scene. And this movie would have been the perfect length.
Like that whole kind of story arc and that they were going for. Because it seemed kind of unnecessary because a lot of things that made it very unnecessary. It made one of the main characters that you're supposed to... That people, like, that was loved so much in... the quote-unquote first one or the seventh one that like he was supposed to die in that movie, but they brought him back because they thought he was such a cool character. And but then they completely made him such a shit show character and turned it into like, oh, this is a learning thing for him to learn how to manage his fucking temper.
So the whole point of this movie was to I got it, like I get it. The whole point of the rebel, right? To rebels is, hey, you don't have to die, you can lose sometimes and retreat, but we'll live to fight another day. I think that was the whole point of the rebels even being around in this film. And I get it, but at the same time, I feel like they could have had a better movie with some more sacrifice. Yeah. Because of Rose or whatever that...
Rose.
Yeah, her sister died for that crazy mission that the Jedi of Plains, what's his name? Poe Dameron? Jesus Christ. Why don't we just send Poe to a whole planet by himself? I don't see a problem. This motherfucker took out all the guns of a destroyer. Yeah. Like man.
The coolest fucking scene right up in your face. Like,
yeah, it was just, man, Lord of the Skies, man. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, there was a couple of things. There was just
twin things with an X-Wing that, like, in space that you don't even think is even possible to do in space.
Low key, man. I felt like he was playing Star Fox.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. Like he can't be beat. Like, cannot be beat.
No.
Like, it's crazy. But anyway, I liked his character for the most part. There was that scene where they warped into the other ship. I felt like that was
really awesome.
It was awesome and dumb at the same time. Because the scene of it was awesome. What they did was awesome. But the concept behind it blew my brains out. Because she knew she was... I'm sorry, spoiler alert? Who cares? No one cares. No one cares. But she knew she was going to die. I'm going to stay back in this ship. Let's do it. I feel like this could have easily been like the put the brick on the gas pedal and jump out the car kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Because if you can warp it into another ship, she definitely didn't have to be in it. I felt
feel like if anyone was going to do that, it should have been Leia.
That's kind of how I felt too.
Like, yeah. I don't see why it couldn't, because you had because Leia's alive, but Carrie Fisher isn't, and it's like, what better way to put her out of the world of? But
that keeps happening throughout the film.
Yeah.
Because same with Finn. That was a perfect close to the Finn arc.
Yes, that's what I felt. It's like, why not?
Perfect close. And then she stopped him. They got in anyway. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just, you don't have to die. Well, sometimes, but in war, people have to die. You know, sacrifices have to be made. It's a war for a reason. Like
that would have been perfect for Finn, because like he wasn't a real warrior. He was a runaway, and I get the point of Finn. I get the appeal of Finn for some people, but I'm not a fan of Finn.
And remember, he's not a warrior.
No,
but he beat Captain Phasma like she wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there, everyone. Also, man, Phasma, what? Oh my God, Snoke. Oh my God, he probably bothered me the most.
Yeah,
I get. Check out the other movie. Maybe you'll find out more stuff. Check out our books. Maybe you'll find out more stuff about Snoke. But it was just so many holes about the character that it just kind of. Your supreme leader, Snoke. How'd you get there?
Yeah.
What you were... so strong that you can do all this shit with the Force, but nobody cares about you. A
lot of stuff in this movie kind of made me wonder, like, how does anyone get promoted to anything?
Anything.
Like, where do you start at? Do you start as a stormtrooper?
Exactly.
Do you like?
Yeah. Right. And then like, when I found untapped raw power, and then he's just basically calling him a bitch, and he can't do anything right. But he's strong enough to link minds.
Yeah.
I like the way he went out. Don't get me wrong. I thought that scene was awesome. But I just feel like him in general was just squandered. Like, you weren't shit. And then another big problem I have with the film is that I feel like the Sith, or the New Order, or whatever the fuck their name is. The First Order, are now officially a bunch of bumbling idiots. In the beginning, Snoke talks about General Hux like he's an idiot, but an idiot in the right place can be a sharp weapon. Mm-hmm. But you still called him an idiot, right? And then you get Kylo Ren, who gets bested by his emotions every time, right? So now I really don't have much stake in him. Also, I feel like he can be beaten with a well-placed bullet at this point, because he makes really rash decisions.
Yeah.
And I am very surprised he isn't dead yet. And then there's that, and then the Rey thing is a little confusing, but I understand they kind of want it to be. I get that.
Like the whole like your family and shit.
You are your family. You come from nothing kind of shit. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like the First Order has no leadership. Hux is an idiot, and then Kylo Ren is kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
He's like a baby idiot. So there are no others in command that were shown that know how to pilot anything or establish any type of good plan. Mm-hmm. So by this next movie, I feel like they're all falling over on their own swords. Like, it's just really weird to me.
Well, it's kind of like, I think, Rian Johnson completely said, like, try fixing that, JJ.
Yeah,
because, like,
have fun.
He did a lot of, because a lot of things that I noticed in the movie was a lot of, like first thing when Luke takes, or like when Luke's on the planet, he takes the lightsaber, and you think Luke's gonna accept the lightsaber, it's gonna be great, and he takes it and he tosses it over his fucking shoulder, which I thought was kind of funny. But but then he immediately,
that shit was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then he immediately changes his robes, which I was like, obviously Rian Johnson did not like the outfit he was wearing, so wanted him to wear something else. He had a different idea in mind. So immediately I was kind of like, he changed that, and then I noticed that Kylo Ren's hair wasn't perfect, so it was all messy, and I was like, okay, he fixed that. He fixes the hair situation. He got rid of the helmet because the helmet only showed that he was just a Darth Vader fanboy, and it's like, why are you wearing the helmet? There's really no logical reason why you
take that ridiculous thing off.
Yeah, he's just a boy in a mosque, and then he smashes it and destroys it. He destroys it, and like his hair is all fucked up. He actually looks like the way he should have looked in the first place.
I agree.
Because like, what bad guy's getting a perm?
I understand that this is just like a big journey, right?
Yeah.
It's just so weird because, like we said, it doesn't honor its own continuity. There's a lot of things that are really strange. Like within a week, the First Order like rules the galaxy. Wasn't that shit kind of like a bit in shambles? Like,
yeah,
aren't we running right after The Force Awakens? And like you said, Kylo, they said go back to complete your training, right? But what, did he train for like 3 days and then all this shit start to happen again?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like no amount of time has really passed, like barely any. But here we see, and I know they explain Phasma's story in the comics, which is another reason for people to buy more shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still think it's like you didn't explain her coming back at all. Like, at all. Like, you didn't, nothing. And it just, that shit kind of bothers me. In this day and age, you can't leave holes like that because everybody will find them and get pissed at them. Yeah. I'm sure the movie made its money. Do not get me wrong. Star Wars will always make its money. But at the same time, you're starting to go in a direction that I think even your fans are going to start getting pissed at.
Yeah.
And like you said, hair's messy now. from the clean. Changed Luke's outfit from, what he was wearing then.
Yeah.
Some of the characters' demeanors have changed a bit. Like Poe Dameron, I think, is far more aggressive now than he was then. And, things like... I definitely think that things have changed. Now Finn is like this hero to everyone, but how did that happen in what feels to me a week?
Yeah, in such a short period, it's like he's a legend. It's like...
Yeah,
because usually Star Wars movies, they take place... Because you're kind of used to the idea of a Star Wars movie, it ends. And the next one starts.
Then, bam, in a big, wide gap.
Yeah, the huge gap between one movie and
this one takes place right after, and I don't think it honors itself in that regard at all. Yeah. And, well, damn, I'm listing out all the negatives.
Yeah, you're kind of like convincing yourself, and maybe you don't like this movie.
But no, I still had a good time. Do not get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not going to be sad if I don't see it again.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just how I feel.
Yeah, for me, because I went alone, because you asked me a couple nights before.
Don't bring this up, dude.
Because, I was worried about going without my girlfriend because she would hate me, but it's I have to see... But Sunday came, and I was, really looking for... I sat next to the fucking handicap seats because, that was the only seat. There was only one seat I can get, and there was only one. But, I went alone because I really wanted to see it before the weekend came, because otherwise I won't be able to listen to any of my podcasts.
It's so true. You had to watch it.
I had to watch it because every podcast I listened to was going to talk about and spoil it, and I was right. Even though after I watched it, there really wasn't a whole lot to be spoiled. It didn't feel like.
Right.
It wasn't stuff that was a huge shock. The only thing that probably could have been spoiled was the thing with Luke at the end on the planet, the salt planet, whatever. Yep. Which I was kind of thrown off. I was like, "Where the fuck? Why did he get a haircut? Why is he wearing those clothes?"
I loved it.
He has that lightsaber. I was really confused because I wasn't looking for the key points that he didn't have any footprints. And do you see on Mr. Sunday Movies they did the little 8-bit version?
I didn't watch it.
That is really. It's not even funny. It's just a perfect representation of what happens in a video game type.
Yeah, 8-bit they did the same thing with the Vader scene at the end of Rogue One.
Did they? Okay, yeah. And I did see that. Yeah, that's fucking sweet. But no, watching the movie, I went in to it completely really not much expectations. I just really wanted to see it. I mean, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world where I collect every fucking Star Wars thing.
Same.
But I do enjoy it enough to where I feel like a kid if I'm watching something, and it gives me some type of joy. And watching this movie, I felt joy through it. I went off of what I felt about it. So when I was done with the movie, I was like, I really like this movie. I'm sad that Luke had to die, but in the context of the story, I get what they did.
Yeah.
Certain things were very questionable. I did, the Canto Bite thing really stood out as, unnecessary because I don't really like Finn. The Rose character felt very freaking ham-fisted, especially in the beginning when this character you don't even know is touching this necklace, and you're just like, okay... because it's not supposed to be all in your face that, oh, this pendant, it's real. Hey, look at this pendant. This is going to mean something later.
Yeah.
And it's you got...
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. And then you actually see it on this girl, and it's oh, there it is. That thing you throw in my face. Yeah, there it is. Great. I'm excited. But yeah, it's it wasn't really doing anything for me. And but I think the little cameo of Justin Theroux as the dude that they were trying to meet that had the thing on his chest or whatever was really, really cool. If you don't know who Justin Theroux is, he was in he's in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. He was I believe Bryce in American Psycho as Patrick Bateman's friend with the really slick back hair.
Yes,
he was going off roid rage, dude. In the fucking stall when he's doing fucking Sweetener. And but yeah, that dude was in it, and it was fucking sweet. But yeah, I thought that whole thing on that planet was unnecessary. It's they're trying to throw some type of message in there, and it's you're ham-fisting it, you're forcing it. It didn't feel right. Forcing it not a sweet Star Wars way, but just complete. It's just unnecessary. It's the movie felt long because it had this really long, unnecessary prequel-ish type thing, which I don't know if that was purposely done to try and put that in there, but. I didn't like it.
Right. And I
thought it all could have went about differently, especially the storyline and Poe going crazy where it's you're on Poe's side, you don't know who this bitch is, and she's not being honest about everything. Why would she? And then
if you according if you had read the novel prior, you'd know that this woman was a real good friend of Leia and that she was really important.
Yeah.
Like, but us as the casual don't fucking know that.
No.
So it's
we're not
just
reading every Star Wars thing under the sun.
In typical Star Wars fashion, that shit happens. But it's harder for me to fucking swallow this kind of stuff when so little time has passed from the first movie to this one.
Yeah, because where was she in...
Ick. It just, that upsets me. But anyway, and Leia floating, I didn't, mind.
I didn't really... I thought it was... In the moment, I was kind of like... no, they're not letting her die like that. Yeah, and then they show her, I'm like,
okay.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
They're going, she'll die later, and then she doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just like, all right, well, because this movie is filled with jukes, and I'll take that. Yeah. I appreciate what they've tried. Yeah. I just think there's some of it that I was like, oh, God, why? Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about the stuff I liked. Visually, amazing. I love the planet design. I liked the characters in Canto Bight, like the aliens and stuff, but it's obvious that shit was there just to show you the aliens and stuff. I liked Kylo Ren's direction. Like, he's far more of a character. I like the fight scene between the guard with after Snoke's death with Rey and stuff. Like, I thought that was great. The ships, man. The ships and like some of those destroyers and that like Dreadnought one and oh god, those looked amazing. The space battles looked amazing.
Funny enough,
I really liked Luke too. Hermit Luke was really awesome. Yeah. I thought,
but because I was kind of one of those people who's kind of like I was kind of on Mark Hamill's side before he saw the movie, and it's a lot of fan side where it's like I wouldn't believe Luke would be all about like wanting to stay away and not help his friends. Like I kind of find that it doesn't feel very Luke. Right. Luke would be above that. Like I can understand trying to protect them by staying away and all that, but like it just seemed like he was just too much against the idea of seeing his sister again or trying to avenge Han or try to at least do something to kind of try and help the situation in a way. But like in the end, I still loved Mark Hamill in this role. I saw so much of Mark Hamill. Everything that he did in the movie I thought was great, and I think it's crazy how like he doesn't do more things now besides just voice acting, because whenever he does anything, it's fucking great. And sure, he's not like freaking Academy Award winning actor, but fuck, he's still good no matter what you fucking call him in.
Yeah, and I love that.
And but yeah, the and a funny thing about the movie was just pointed out to me. I can't remember which podcast it was. They said that like this is the first Star Wars movie. Actually, no, it's not the first Star Wars movie, I guess. But like where a lightsaber doesn't touch another lightsaber. So I guess first Star Wars movie that's in the main, like, the main 7 or the main 8. Besides Rogue One, because Rogue One barely counts because that wasn't, but counts but doesn't count. But yeah, it's the one where the lightsaber doesn't touch another lightsaber, and it's all just like fighting the guards, and then Luke and Kylo don't touch lightsabers at all because Luke is not really there.
Yeah. That's another thing.
So but I thought the execution of like the fight scenes was very cool. I liked the choice in cinematography for that to let you see everything.
Cinematography was really good.
The visuals were great. That room was very beautiful. That fucking explosion with the light speed from one ship into the other ship was very beautiful.
That visually was like
yeah, it's just
so sick,
awe-inspiring. It's fucking beautiful.
So yeah, that's my review.
Yeah,
that's as far as I'm gonna go. I don't want to incite riots and have my house be caught on fire or raided.
Yeah, I think you're fine. But like, no, like I think all 12 people will kind of be too lazy to come.
Yeah, it's also very true.
But no, I think the movie made me feel like a kid watching it. I really enjoyed it as I was watching it and stuff. I was just entrenched in it. I wasn't caught up in. I wasn't distracted by anything. I was just really into it. So I thought it was really sweet. So I definitely, because I keep hearing that it's a movie that's really awesome, more awesome the second time around. So, and it's crazy how some movies can be like that. Like, you watch it a second time, it's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah. I'm not counting BVS because the second time I seen it was the extended cut.
Okay.
So that it was good. It was better already because of the plot hole fills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to lay this movie to rest. However, I'm going to skip ahead to a fun little thing that we added Craven to, which is my annual Secret Santa party that we have at my house. It's the Christmas that I look forward to. I love it dearly. Me and my closest friends get together, draw names out of the hat during the... When did we draw them?
It was
SummerSlam. So we all come over, we watch SummerSlam, and then everybody draws numbers from a hat or people from a hat to see who their Secret Santa is. Mm-hmm. Then we pocket it and move on. Yeah. The point of Secret Santa was so we could all save money while enjoying each other's company, because our taste in expensive collectibles got really expensive. If this was the days where everybody was happy with a $15 Marvel Legend, everybody would be happy with a $15 Marvel Legend. But that is not the case today in these day and times. Isn't that right, Play Arts Kai Predator? Isn't that right, Hot Toys Batman? Isn't that right, 3-0 Skull Knight? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I got a lot of expensive dolls. Anyway, so we decided to invite Craven amongst our shenanigans and nonsense.
That's me.
And so what'd you think about Secret Santa, man? Being a part.
I got to be there for SummerSlam to see you guys, take your names.
You saw the process.
It's nice to hang out with the group and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It definitely reminds me of my youth. I'm all about nostalgia of my youth and hanging out. I love friendship. Even though I don't have a lot of it because I only have one of them.
That's right. That's fucking right.
But no, it's like it's nice to be a part of the group, at least be a witness or be part of it and all that, and then be there for Secret Santa is very sweet because it actually really took away all the stress I had for the holidays with like whether it was commission work that I shouldn't have taken on, but I only did because I needed the extra money
that I shouldn't have taken on.
And
my man.
And like family stuff and figuring out like what the situation could do, like just all the stress of like of life, like completely went out the window, out the door of Sean's home when I came here and got to hang out with him and his friends.
That's also right,
because like you just get to enjoy Christmas in a totally different light, and I really appreciate it. So it's nice to be part of the group, and like I fear Secret Santa next year if I'm actually a name drawn in it, because I'm like, I don't know what to get any of these motherfuckers. I don't know what everyone has.
Well, we'll see. We might.
And I can't ask because it has to be a secret, because you do Secret Santa the way I've never seen Secret Santa be done, and that is the way it's supposed to be done.
Yes,
because like no one legitimately knew. Maybe somebody had a clue, maybe not, but
we all had to guess our people, but none of us really knew.
No one really knew.
I was actually wrong about so I had an assumption of who had who when I was getting my stuff. Mm-hmm. But when we read off when we all got our stuff, I was like, and then we read off the names, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, nobody I thought who had who didn't. Yeah. Like, it was all... So good job to everybody involved.
Yeah, I thought. It was really
So it was
the
really
way it was done. Like you had me here as like pretty much the go getter, if anything, but like as not just to be part of the group, but also I had a mission intact just to help keep everything a secret.
Yeah.
By having a crate, and the thing that I feared was that one of the guys will have something bigger than that fucking crate, making it obvious that the one who just came in had the thing that did not fit in the crate. Therefore, the biggest item over there probably belongs to this person. So that was inside my head before he even came.
Yeah, there was nobody, thank God, that really got anything for their SS person that was bigger than the crate. So thank you.
It was
he was crate Knight that night.
Well, yeah, I was trying to maintain that because it was like one. It was Seth. I think it was Seth that came, and he had like the big poster.
And
he
big
had
thing.
like a big giant box, and it's like that's not gonna fit in this crate. I need everybody to turn around.
Yeah, and that was great. And so we all stared at the wall and said. And then,
it had to go downstairs into a secure room where even the wrapping paper that you used was
had to be hidden in there.
So the Secret Santas within the household didn't know.
Yes, correct.
So it's like this idea is fucking genius, and I don't know if anybody else does anything like this, but they fucking should, because no one really, because usually Secret Santa is done like in the workplace,
right.
Where like there's no way you're gonna find out even if you tried sometimes.
And we even had and then at the end we had the bonus gift where we played Cards Against Humanity for.
Yeah.
And then the winner won. We had 2 figures up for grabs, and they were good. They weren't shitty.
You already cut somebody's throat for that fucking Joker.
Dude, I wanted that fucking Joker, man. I was mad. Bro.
It was like, I'm risking my relationship for this Joker.
Dude, I was like, I was about to, dude.
I wasn't even close.
It was, yeah, right. It was great though. And
it was fun.
It's definitely my favorite time of the year. Like doing that Secret Santa, planning it, making sure all the boys can come.
Because it wasn't just about. It wasn't just about the idea of Christmas. It wasn't just about gift giving. It was the idea of actually no, it wasn't about receiving gifts. I mean. It was more about the idea of giving and just seeing like how someone reacts to it. And I swear, the moment I saw Mike open up like his presents and see like he got the vinyl record,
like the 82, the 84,
that was Guns N' Roses.
86, yep.
And like he opened it, he's a collector, because I don't really know much about Mike other than just a little bit that I learned about him. But like learning about that, and I saw his expression, I saw how quiet the room was, and I was like, somebody just proposed to this dude. And he has no idea who did it.
Yeah, it's so.
I was like, I literally felt the love in the love there.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is very sweet. And I was like happy to actually witness stuff like that because my family did a Secret Santa, but it was completely wrong. But it was still fun to see everybody open gifts. Like we just did it like around 7-8 o'clock at Christmas Eve, and just did it. And then we did the same thing at my girlfriend's family and all that.
They don't matter. What matters is me.
What matters is friends.
So let's see. I got some highlights for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Most from Secret Santa, some not. So this traverses into my figure segment, everyone, because I got a problem. So
it's not a problem. Your figures are not a problem; they are the solution.
Yeah, this is true. So my Secret Santa, my good buddy Mike, he got me a 112 collective special edition blue and yellow classic uniform Wolverine, which is an amazing figure. My first Mezco, and I am terrified to continue touching him because he wears bright yellow tights.
Oh, yeah.
So I do not want to get him dirty, so he stays displayed in the case. But nonetheless, an amazing figure. I was looking at it,
I was like, why is he so hidden away? And those boxes are not meant to preview.
No, they're not. I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah. And
then the second present that I got from my good old SS Mike was... he got me a 1/6 scale LAPD SWAT member. Now, this is great because this continues on to the trend that we... so, last year's Secret Santa, I like to get gifts for all my boys, but not to go ham. I don't want to spend a bunch of money.
Yeah.
For everybody. And, because Secret Santa's already expensive for your person, right? So I wanted to make sure everything was good. So last year, I got my buddy Mike, the guy who was my Secret Santa this year, but he wasn't last year. I got him a absolute piece of shit 1/6 scale cop, like a SWAT team guy. Like he's just an absolute idiot. He's not his face sculpt. He just looks like a shithead, and all he does. All his existence in life is to take moves from his BVS Superman and his BVS Batman. So the whole point of this guy is to get butchered, punched, beat up by his other figures. I like to call it battle theater. So moving on, this version of LAPD SWAT that Mike got me is the most insane person in a box I've ever got. So this asshole has seamless joints, so he's got like real skin. He's got the face only a fucking dirty cop would have. He came with his own BlackBerry, his own headset, a gas mask with real buckles and straps, a steel police riot shield, a multitude of rifles and handguns.
Let alone, he had a vest.
Yes.
That you could not figure out how.
I couldn't figure out the vest because
I was able to figure out how to get it open, but
it is made like a real bulletproof vest, and I don't know how to put those on. So it turns out he's got one too.
But it's not. It's like a riot. It's not just a bulletproof vest. Like
it's a riot vest.
It's a fucking riot vest that has all these fucking pockets and Velcro. It's insane.
It's insane. And then he's got a radio that can connect inside of his gas mask if you want it to. He also, oh my god, he also has tactical like glasses for the SWAT intrusions. He has shears. He has handcuffs. He has what the fuck? Okay.
Let alone like when you did open this, you did not realize
that there was a second layer,
another fucking layer of shit.
He comes with clips. The gun's cock. There's a bullet in the there's bullets in the chamber, like zip tie handcuffs, grenade launcher. It's all a mess. I have we spent together about 15 minutes just trying to figure out why this dude has so much shit. It took a whole house of humans to be like, wow, this guy has a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So right now he is in my case. He is meant to be fodder, mind you, everyone. He is now in my case, being Superman punched, Superman shielded by my Civil War Captain America, and the Winter Soldier Bucky is punching the shield while it's going into Denver's face, while Denver's spilling weapons everywhere, and General Zod is floating above them with the riot shield, while Denver is also holding Crossbones' mask from Civil War. So it's very involved, and I love it. Happy Secret Santa to us all.
That's going to be the cover photo for this podcast.
Thank you.
I don't do cover photos for the podcast ever, but if any podcast needed one, this one did.
This, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, there's that. And then for my regular Christmas, I got the Icons Wonder Woman, which you also got, and I needed it.
Which I think is funny because I got the Icons Deathstroke, which you have.
Yep, which I have. And then I also got you the Icons Lex Luthor.
You did,
which you now have.
I now have. I have him just sitting there with his hands behind his back. I need to make proper stands for all of them, but like I ended up gifting myself with the Icons Joker and Harley Quinn. So I had two villains that you didn't know I had, and because I had.
Yeah, so now you out of nowhere have a villains
now I have
collection.
A world's finest villains set with Harley there, and
awesome.
But yeah, continuing with the rest of yours.
So then, let's see. I also got a NECA Dutch from Predator, who's up there. I told myself I didn't want to get involved in the NECA Predators because it would be a problem. And now it is. Yeah. Because NECA has started to, they redesigned all the Kenner Predator toys that I had when I was young. Mm-hmm. And my favorite one was the Clan Leader Predator. Mm-hmm. And that motherfucker came out and they made it, and it is like probably my favorite sculpted figure of the last year. Like, it's unbelievable. It's the top right in the box. Yeah. And I had to have it. So then I needed a Dutch. What the fuck am I going to do having Predators and not having Dutch?
No fucking Dutch.
And then I find out that the Alien vs. Predator arcade game, NECA is now making those versions. So there's the Dutch with the giant robot arm.
Because if there's money to be made, a toy company will try and make that money.
Son of a bitch, man. So yeah, it's just a problem. And now, also, most anticipated soon to be purchased is they have the Bone Throne for the Clan Leader Predator, which is the head of the Queen Alien, and then all other alien skulls to make up the chair. I'm flabbergasted. I need that fucking thing. But anyway, continuing on. And then I have perhaps one of the best figures ever I got, and that is the Storm Collectibles and Bison figure, which is
I thought that was new.
Yeah, I saw that when he's a brand spanker, and man, okay, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Street Fighter mark, and I am the biggest Street Fighter V mark when it comes to their designs. Like, I absolutely love how a lot of those characters ended up being designed. And Alex is by far my favorite Street Fighter character.
I could totally see you cosplaying as fucking Bison.
Yes, I could.
It'd be so easy.
So easy. But anyway, yeah, so there's that. So, Storm Collectibles announced finally that they're doing, that they're actually doing my main, a figure of Alex, which is already pre-ordered. Don't worry, everyone. I have it. It's coming. And I needed a Street Fighter figure, and I love the M. Bison design and the way he plays in the game.
Yeah.
So when I found out that they made him, I was like, oh, shit! There was a Toys R Us exclusive of him that was green and gold, and I tried to pre-order it. I tried to get it as soon as it went up for sale, and 7 minutes. I refreshed that page, refreshed it, sold out.
Jeez.
I couldn't win, so there's that. But
Fucking
either
Minnesota
way,
Posse.
fucking Minnesota Posse. Shout outs to y'all though. But now I have a Storm Collectibles and Bison. I don't know if any of you watched the shout out to Anthony's Customs. He has a video of his top figures of 2017, and his number one spot just went to Storm Collectibles. It didn't even go to one figure because he was like, they're all interchangeably good. He was like, every one is worth it. He's like, the price point, the material, the weapons, the quality control. He's like, everything's there. So
That's your main dude, right?
yeah, yes, sir. So how can I not like a guy who knife edge chops people to suplex them or power bomb them? He power bombs and big boots people.
It's funny because every time I look at the Storm Collectibles like Street Fighter figures, I look at them and it's like I wish I was a Street Fighter fan,
dude.
So I can have these.
It doesn't matter.
Like,
See,
because I'm the type of person that like if I'm not a fan, like me,
it's true.
If I'm not a fan of something, like I'm not really into something, I don't feel like I should buy it. Like I didn't feel like I can like I want to buy an Overwatch shirt. But I don't play Overwatch. I just know of Overwatch. So
well, you play it. You've played it.
No, I do. But I mean, like, this is before I actually started playing.
Right.
So once I started playing, it's like, yeah, now I'm a fan. So now I want to start getting shit.
And that's the biggest problem with being a collector.
Yeah.
Is that you're like, oh, these look cool,
try
but
to
I'm
find
not
more
into
drugs.
it. And then you fuck up, and then you get into it, and you're like, shit! And then you're like, I need it! It's funny because I'm into, manime. So Berserk and Fist of the North Star, top 2 of all time. They're like a religion to me, right? So of course I have a shitload of Fist of the North Star figures and merch, and I'm on my way with the Berserk stuff. I might as well be there right now, with all the volumes and the best figures that I think are out of the lines. But I was late to the Devilman train. And then I really liked Devilman, watching, the old OVAs and some of the old show. And I was like, shit, man, that design is sweet. And then I ended up getting one of his figures for my birthday. So I was like, oh, I can't keep doing this. But I'm in the middle of doing a downsizing so I can, selling some old, upgrading to some new. So yeah, I got, there's some more coming, ladies and gents. But that's what I got for Christmas. You got any Christmas spoils, Craven, that you'd like to share? Other than the Harley Joker and then the Lex that I got
there was another gift that you didn't list, but because it's not fully articulated, it's
right. No, we can definitely say it was the... I got you the Lego playset.
No, not that. Not what you got me, what I made for you.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, he's right here.
Oh, there it is.
Tell these people what you got.
Because I almost forgot about it, but no, I made you a Deathstroke mask. The one Christmas gift that I made, probably next to the one that I made for Erica, and it might fit a little tight. Is mostly meant just to be a really cool looking display piece and conversation piece.
Oh, I got a conversation.
Yeah. I was almost debating on putting breathing holes in it, but I was like, I'm afraid.
I don't need to breathe.
No. I was like, fuck it. Like, he doesn't need to breathe. But I think it's a true, representation of me getting better at covering, covering the seams, making it look a lot better and all that.
Yeah.
And kind of basing it off of different designs. I would have put so much more work into it, but I really only had a couple days.
because I literally gave myself the week before Christmas to complete gifts. And this was the one gift that a lot more effort went into, other than this Lydia Dietz Beetlejuice poncho fleece thing that I made for Erica that had like the spider web thing on it. And yeah, it's like the two things that I made that a lot of work went into. So I was like,
shit, I can't see out my right side.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. Like, I had the pattern at home so I could make another, because I was going to do so much more to it, but I knew I would have to, like, it would have to dry on the day that I came here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the back does
I need my shit in the shop. Yeah, bitch.
Then he's taking a picture with it on for the people at home listening or on the train.
My left eye is such bad vision that I don't know what these pictures look like. So good.
Oh man.
All right, continue on.
But yeah, but no, that was a cool piece to put together, and I was really set on like having the bandana portion on the back hanging. I even tried burning it with a lighter to get to really work. Yeah. It wasn't working out so well, but I did just weather the shit out of it, and the paint job just kind of really made it look cool. But no, I'm really glad that I put that together, because I was like, I don't really know what to get Sean, because I don't know what other people are gonna get him. So like, I'm just gonna make him whatever I have. Like, I knew I was gonna like try and make you a prop and make something just kind of something no one else can get you. So. But for gifts for me, what I got, yes, you got me the Lego set too, which I was like perfect for work, because
I knew that we both thought that Bane was absolutely hilarious. That he was a direct combination of both the comic and the movie.
Yeah,
like it was great.
But for me, I got that from you. I also got some more foam from Ellen, which is like, it's very light. It's in this box. I opened it. I was like, that's exactly
that makes sense.
That's exactly what I asked for. More foam. Grabbing the entire stack, because I love having more foam. Which, funny enough, at my old job, now started carrying a 6-pack of the very fucking floor mat foam.
Get the fuck
after
out
I
of
fucking
here.
quit.
Get the fuck out of here.
I bought a fucking 6-pack of that shit. I told, one of my friends, like, fucking trick that up for me so I can get that shit for cheaper. We'll see. But anyway, so I got a picture of my gifts here. I did get a sweater that I can wear for work for my mother, because she was my quote-unquote secret Santa. But she also got me a 3-pack of graphic novels that I so happen to own already.
Oh, word?
Because she was like, I told everyone, it's like, all you have to do is look at my space, because everything that I have is pretty much out in the open. And my mother literally got me a 3-pack of graphic novels that I already own, which is a lot of the Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder collection stuff. And I was like, I do already own some of them digital, some of them physical, but like I already got them. So she could trade them in and get me. I went onto her Amazon and just added stuff that I want that she can exchange. And it's like, so I think she's getting me a SH Gohan figure. So at least I have that. I just told him, I was like, I want toys. Just get me toys. That's all I want.
Just give me fucking toys, man.
Yeah, but what I got was if I'm trying to zoom in, that's not how it works. But I got the Icons Nightwing for my girlfriend. She pretty much the core person that got me the most gifts. That's kind of how it always ends up being, because my family's too cheap, so they always get Secret Santa and shit.
Sounds great.
But she also got me a Sony Extra Bass fucking speaker. It's a Bluetooth speaker, which is like. I
need that.
Yeah,
God
it's
damn
like, it. I was like, I didn't even know I needed this. I didn't even know I wanted this, but I got it, and I fucking love it.
You love it. Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
the problem.
Thing is, it lights up as it goes, as like LED lights. It's like a blue one, and so it lights up as it's always doing stuff. I don't know how to turn that off. I don't know if I can.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, but like I just put it on the edge of the tub while I'm listening to podcasts and taking a shower and shit.
You know what? I think I'm gonna try and maybe sync up Denver's BlackBerry to my fucking Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that radio fucking works.
I'm sure you can friggin' prank call the police on his friggin' CB radio.
They're gonna be like, is this Denver? Denver, is that you?
Where have you been?
You're coming up.
Denver. But the DC Icons, Nightwing and Deathstroke, very sweet figures.
I almost got you that Nightwing, but I'm like, somebody got this.
Yeah.
I know he got this. There's no way I can.
Funny enough, those are the only two icons I got, along with the one you got me with Luther, and then the two that I got myself. So it was like very icon heavy in a way, just like with 3 different people. And then my girlfriend like saw that I expressed my kind of enjoyment for the Disney Store exclusive kind of cartoony figures.
I like those.
I
yeah,
really
when you showed me that,
yeah.
I thought those were sweet.
These are really cool, but once you take them out of the box and you try to do anything with them, they're really shitty.
Are they?
They're really not that great.
Okay, so is it the articulation or the quality?
Like, it's decent articulation, what you expect from figures that look that way.
Right.
But I think I don't even think it's a bad quality. It just seems kind of weird. Like when they bend, they seem kind of weird. Like almost like they're gonna break. Plastic's a little too hard.
I think it's just probably because those toys were meant for kids.
Yeah.
So I think when that stuff happens, they try to think about either durability or functionality for the kids.
They just seem kind of odd in a way. It's like hard to explain because I haven't touched. But I put them on a shelf. I haven't touched them in a bit. But like I have Iron Man and a Thor that I really like that she got me. I thought Thor was a weird choice. It's the only one she got me. Thor because it was the first one I opened. I got Iron Man. It's like, oh, maybe she got me another one. But no, it was just those two, and it was it's really cool because she knew I liked those figures, and they were on sale, so they were really cheap. She got me 3 Gundam model kits. One's a 1/100th, and the other one's a 1/44th, and which are really cool. I fucking love putting those Gundams together. On Christmas Eve is when I did my traditional yearly Batman animated Christmas episodes while doing some other tasks and all that stuff, and I finished my Gundam model kit while watching those. While I was just kind of on my own and just being able to enjoy being by myself and relax and just do that. And that's where I did the full weather damage onto the Gundam. I made it look fucking spot on, and I can't wait to do that to any other ones that I build. So I'm in the process of building those Gundam model kits. And she got me Batman Beyond on, the DVD set, which is like, it was really cool because I said how much I wanted that too.
Yeah, we got that baby up there.
You got that one.
Yeah, we got that. That one's old school, but we got that signed by Kevin Conroy.
Nice.
So that's the cool part.
I got those. She got me a shaver and all that. It's not a toy, but it helps because like it was something. It was another thing, just like the speaker. I didn't know.
Dude, this is the loudest you've ever clawed my carpet.
But
this is my bitch ass cat, everybody. You just got to be extra right now.
Scratching carpets.
All right.
But no, like a shaver is like something I didn't know I wanted or needed, just like the speaker.
But then you got it.
But it's like I got it, and it's
necessary.
Also one that actually does some vacuuming as you're using it.
Shit.
So it's actually very necessary, and it lets me get to like a nice shave down to a stubble that I enjoy instead of having my other one is like either I go closer to the skin or it looks fucked up completely.
I get
so
it.
I got that because I don't like being completely shaved and all that shit. So I just like trimming.
I feel it.
Now I have 2 different ones because now I can use a different trimmer for my balls and my face. So
yeah, thank God, everyone.
Yeah, everybody applaud that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Christmas. It was it is pretty much a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I made it really cool, like I said, like I made the thing, the helmet for you, but I also made this really cool Beetlejuice cartoon inspired poncho thing. That if you remember the Beetlejuice cartoon at all, because I think at this point it's a very kind of like unknown.
Yeah.
It's not as well known.
I remember it back then.
But like when Lydia Dietz went into like Beetlejuice's world, she wore like this spiderweb red poncho thing. I remember I told Erica, I was like, that would be the perfect costume for her to wear, especially on Halloween when it's cold and shit.
Yep, that'd be sweet. And
so I was like, yeah, you should. I could probably make you that, whatever. And I said that in October, and then I said, fuck it, I'm gonna make it. And then I made it as a gift. It was a bitch to put together, but even after I washed it and dried it, just the little fibers of stuff even made it look even cooler. And it's very warm because it's 2-layered fleece, so it's pretty much a blanket / poncho. Mm-hmm. So, and she wears it all the time because it's meant to be worn, like, because she's always cold. So, like, she wears it and while she's like studying and all that stuff. So that was a cool little thing that I made, and a bunch of other stuff. I made some cool stuff for like my sister, who was my Secret Santa, and a blanket for my niece that has like a pocket she could put her feet into and all that. So it's a very maker heavy week for me when right before Christmas.
Holidays.
Yeah,
That's
fucking holidays.
It's the holidazzle.
And then take that into account when I took that fucking commission for the girl.
Yeah, I know.
I was like thinking I have 2 weeks to do this. No, I really only have 1 week.
That's what I said about my bank account. I was like, I'll not pay rent.
Yeah. But I think we can finish this off with a little bit of wrestling. Some Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. So, funny enough, I will be tabling at 2 wrestling events. I know I will be at the MAW show sometime this month. Just look it up online. I'm thinking it's a Sunday, next Sunday. I should be down there, and I'll be tabling there. Support my boy Wild Pete. And then also, I will be tabling at a show that you are wrestling, if I am not mistaken. What is that, Prime Time?
It is Prime Time Wrestling. And at this one, it's funny enough, the promoter texted me saying, do I have you booked on anything? And I was like, no, you haven't booked me for anything. And it's like, okay, you want to do this show on the 26th in Bloomington at the, the Knights of Columbus. And it's like, yeah, for sure, I'll do it. And it was like one of those moments where I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? Did I semi-retire? Did I not? Do I want to do it? Do I have a kick? I don't know. Fuck it. I'll say yes. And it's like, I literally thought of it as like a potential opportunity for, to stay in shape, but also have something to work toward to stay in good shape and all that, because I've been really keen on trying to eat better and all that. But also, I was like, this would be a cool thing to kind of give a little stocking stuffer to my buddy Sean to table at a nice event at a primetime show where there's a lot of people that can look at his shit.
Yeah!
And we can network.
Fuck you! And then we're also I'm gonna sell. Also, there will be prints available, you pieces of shit. They will have the Break Knyte pod print, and they'll also have another little Craven print coming up too for that little scenario. So hopefully that'll be cool.
Yeah, because I'm going to have my own little photos. I literally ran out of photos from the last time I was wrestling, so I don't really have anything to sell before other than the prints that you gave me, which I still have. But I just kind of fell out of like caring about selling anything at shows. It's like, I only have this one picture. I'm not going to go. I'll just hold on to it. And but now I just kind of feel like, if I'm with Sean, I feel more motivated to kind of network and sell some shit. So
it'll be
if I was
fun.
on my own, it doesn't feel the same.
It'll be fun.
But I do
fun.
I do have an image that was made, I believe, a couple years ago by Mr. Christopher Huffman, who's been on the podcast before these main days of doing it with Sean, where we talked about.
Gotta get that boy back.
Yeah, but where we talked about being creative individuals, but also he made me a very with his company Spot Monkey Media, which I gotta plug. He doesn't need it because he got all the attention he needs.
Yeah,
but
he's
a busy dude, but he's good at what he does at doing graphic design work for a lot of wrestlers and a lot of other companies and stuff. But he made me I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid. And I thought it would have been cool as like, hey, you think you can make a cool image of me represented within like this Metal Gear Solid theme of like this font, like put my name in the font and all that stuff. And he was able to do that. So I have a very cool image. I've showed it on my social media before, but I never thought to sell it as an 8x10. And because it was meant to be used for a shirt. Yep. And I was like, I just never had it in me to just get shirts made. Mm-hmm. So I was like, why not? This is a really cool image just to have. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to fucking sell it as a shirt. And since I have my fucking comic book tool on my phone that I used to Photoshop everything, it's like, it doesn't have his logo on it, but he has a really cool logo now that looks like a fucking MMA school logo. It's fucking badass. But I was like, I'm going to tack his fucking logo on there, so at least I give him the props he deserves.
Yeah, you should.
And, courtesy of, and I put my Break Knyte Creative stuff on there too. I was weary about putting them both on there just because, like, well, he made this, but I don't want my logo to be on there where it's like I made it, but no one else is thinking about that but me.
Yeah, right. But, exactly.
But, but I think this is a cool picture to, like, print and sell. So that's going to be the one picture that I sell. I do want to make little trinkets, which is one of the things I wanted to focus on this month. I'm making little things to sell, maybe making a couple more Don't
worry, I got you, dog.
And,
I got you.
And maybe selling making some easy wristbands and stuff for kids to wear. Yeah.
Maybe we'll come up with stuff. I don't want to give away trade secrets.
Yeah. But no, that's stuff I'm looking forward to for the show. And on top of that, I'll be wrestling Ken Anderson.
Anderson, yeah. I think
Mr.
Mr.
Anderson.
Ken Anderson. So,
yeah, so I've been wrestling Ken Anderson, a guy who in my Mark and wrestling days, I was a huge fan of. I had his shirt. I loved watching him in the ring. I thought he was awesome. And the fact that I went to his school, even though he wasn't there, the academy was like pretty cool. It's like part of his and all that stuff. I'm going to get an opportunity to go again this week, just kind of get in the ring and roll around with some of my guys. And I look forward to this opportunity because I didn't know until the second time I texted the promoter that that he told me, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have you wrestle Ken and this and that, and I was like, oh, okay, sure.
All right, bet. Cool.
Right. So I'm really looking forward to that and the opportunity to network with my buddy and like get the podcast a little bit more known and all that. And I'm sure some people know about it. Just people are just too freaking lazy to download it because you're fucking yarders.
Don't worry, yarders. We got you covered.
But also we can talk a little bit of Wrestle Kingdom to kind of close this out too.
Yeah. So I watched Wrestle Kingdom. We all got together. Had to stay spoiler free for a fucking week. That was difficult.
Really? You didn't get to watch anything like...
No, we wanted to... So, I forgot...
You set like an event with your friends again?
Yeah, so we wanted to go in cold, not knowing anything, so we had to stay off the Instagram stuff.
That's kind of what I wanted to do when I didn't want to see anything, I didn't want to see who won Jericho versus Omega, right. So I was so I was lucky enough to call in sick that day and just watch it on YouTube and shit, so...
So I watched the event. It was an amazing event. New Japan is interesting because front to back, a lot of times those shows are really, really good. Mm-hmm. And they get to the point where you see so much good wrestling, you almost get exhausted.
Yeah.
Because guys don't have predetermined time limits for matches, I swear.
Yeah.
I swear they get free reign. Go out there and kill it. Go out there and kill it. I mean, the event is 5 hours. We were there for 5 fucking hours. And what the craziest part about those 5 hours is I was never bored.
Yeah. How many matches were on the card?
Oh, dude, I don't think... I stopped counting.
Nah.
But
I was going to look, and I was wondering what other matches were there
there was a crazy Rumble, right? Of course, it's like the old man Rumble is always stupid and ridiculous. But then there was the Young Bucks versus Roppongi 3K. That match was,
they fairly new?
Was really good. Yeah, but they're skyrocketing those kids. Yeah. Like they're shooting really them up to the top.
Yeah.
So there's them. There was a 4-way scramble match that had Will Ospreay and that was really good. My second favorite match on the card is the shortest match on the card, and it was Cody and Kota Ibushi wrestled.
I wonder why they put so little time in.
Well, and it was great because it told a story.
So it didn't need to be any longer than it was. Yes, it was pretty much so true to this is the perfect time to go home now.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I didn't need 1,000 falsies. Mm-hmm. There was a couple of dangerous ass crossroads off the apron to the floor where I thought he died.
Yeah.
The spot where Brandy got worked in, and then they both laughed like super villains really after awesome. It was done. It was super awesome. I mean, the psychology was good. It wasn't overdone, and the reason why it was my second favorite match on the card is because it was the breath of fresh air that card needed. Mm-hmm. So
because it went at a slower pace.
Slower pace. There were still high risk Japanese moves because Kota Ibushi is apparently invincible, but. Aside from that, it told a great story that didn't tire me out.
Yeah.
Then there was the classic stiff fest between... Now, I'm a huge fan of Hiroki Goto. I love that dude. I love his gear, his look, his build, his moveset. I don't know. He sells really well. He's the generic face of New Japan... that I love. I like him.
Yeah.
So I just really like, the music, the ambiance, he's awesome. And then he went against Minoru Suzuki, who is the closest thing to a bulldog in real life. That motherfucker's just mean. He's gross. He's like a pit bull, actually. But stiff back and forth, hair versus hair match. And the cool thing about this match is that hair versus hair in Japan has different stakes than it does here in the States.
Yeah.
So in the States, hair versus hair is, oh no, my hair is gone, right? Gimmick match. Mm-hmm. Over there, it's like shame. Like it's like shaming you in the old days, right? It's not so bad now, but it's definitely carried that same gusto. So hair versus hair match, and the cool part about it is just like fucking like an honorable death for a samurai, where you have to shave your own head. Oh, like that's So that's they lay the tarp out. You lose the match. Everybody sits, and then you take the clippers, and then you shave yourself.
It's like watching the biker have to fucking get his tattoo blackened out.
Yeah.
Which I only know because of Sons of Anarchy, but yeah.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah,
like
it's fucking insane.
Yeah, so it was awesome. The match was really good. I felt really bad for Goto because I know his face is swollen. Because they just stiffed the shit out of each other. I'm going to try and
look for this one, because I wasn't sure what other... I was like wondering, like, what other matches are there?
I remember
because
all of them
when I search Wrestle Kingdom, I only see, like, the American ones.
And I think I'm going to... So my buddies have New Japan World on the Fire Stick. Because now you can get it on the Amazon Fire Stick. Okay. So you can just plop it in and boom, the app's on there and you can watch it.
Nice.
So because of that, I'm thinking about stuff in my... if you want to maybe go halfsies,
probably
yeah. If you want to, you can get my New Japan World, and then I can just take your WWE. That'll be
probably
we could share that.
Yeah,
because you can share on 3 for WWE. I don't know for New Japan World. We'll check it out.
Yeah, let's see. And I'll probably drop because you use the Crunchyroll much.
No.
Yeah, I'll probably drop that then.
So anyway, moving on. That match was it was crazy good. I really liked it. Then there was... I feel like I'm missing a match. I don't remember, but then, of course, what comes to mind is Kenny Jericho, which I thought was crazy good front to back, especially because I went into this match thinking that Jericho wasn't going to take anything Kenny had. Really? I'm thinking it's going to be WWE paced. I'm thinking... Jericho will take maybe 1 or 2 crazy things, and that it's still going to be good, and Kenny's just going to make him look like $1 million. Though that half of that was true, fucking Jericho took a one-winged angel, and then he took a one-winged angel on a chair. Like Jericho got hurt. He got beat the fuck up. You know, for a 47-year-old man, that is not the kind of ass whipping he was ready for, and you could tell. But it was good. I got to see blood. It meant something. Got to see some hardcore elements that weren't overdone. However, Jericho did start to hit him without the base pad of the chair. So he was just hitting him with the rails of the chair. Yeah. So that was gross. But and then we had God, what's his name? I'm sorry. Okada and Destino, Los Ingobernables. I know all those names, but I'm forgetting his. Yeah. Well, either way, the main. The main was good. It was really good. Okada's been champ forever, and it's hurting the matches, I think. Because now I'm almost dead to these 5-star matches, if that makes any sense. So, like, I knew the match was going to be long, and I knew right away that they weren't going to let Rainmaker drop it. I just knew that. So, because I know that Okada's going to win, and it just kind of drew from the drama away, and then it went typical New Japan main event, where there was like 3,000 falsies, and the finishes were hit a bunch of times. Like, it was just... the match was good, but it wasn't different enough. It didn't offer anything new. No spice, right? It's like a good meal that you eat every day, but you still wish you had tacos. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like all the moves were good, no botches, crowd felt it, but I felt like it could have ended at Jericho Omega, and we would have been fine. Yeah. Because the crowd was at its peak. So, all in all, I give that Wrestle Kingdom, if I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it a fucking The Battle Royale's never good, though. You know what I mean? So I'd have to give it either a 7.5 or an 8, because the only 2 points I'd take away from it is really the main event. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was fucking good, all in all. And it's one of those moments where I'm like, wait, why am I watching this? Or not watching this, but I'm like, wait, why am I watching these pay-per-views? Like, it's crazy.
That's nuts. Yeah, like I only watched like just not the main, but like just some of the matches that what YouTube gave me, because I just watched it on YouTube, and they kind of just kept rolling at one after the other, just straight up bell to bell matches. And at least I got to see the entrance with Kenny Omega, and I thought that was a pretty sweet outfit that he had on there, and you could tell he had his foam prop gun and whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like, that.
I like how he came out like it was Stargate.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Like, that's interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's all I said.
I was
like,
analyzing the fuck out of his gear, and like it was very simple and straightforward, and I was like, I can easily like replicate that if I wanted to.
I liked the gear, but it wasn't functional.
The kick pads was very interesting. I was really trying to figure out like how would I make those, because I imagine like some these indie yarders.
Also Kenny's gear always falls apart.
It does.
Always.
It's like
he is the most explosive guy in that company, but I also feel like he wears
some Break Knight Creative gear.
That's what I'm thinking. Because like he always wears like those really like smooth tights. Mm-hmm. And then the kick pads, I feel like, always slip off of them.
They're always like crunching up, which obviously is a pet peeve of ours. We've talked about it multiple times.
Correct.
And it bugs me, especially when I know how to make kick pads that will stay upright the entire fucking time. Yes, that's right. Using just not even expensive foam, but very durable, reliable foam.
I agree.
And it's like no reason. It's just that.
I'm sorry. Never mind. Wrestle Kingdom was a 7 because his kick pads.
Fucking kick pads.
We're going
brought
down
that shit down.
But
I was like thinking how to make, because it had that cool little texture to it. Like, I wasn't really a fan of the color scheme, but like I like the idea of the texture of like just something cool, because that's what I like to do with mine. I like adding a little bit of
nowadays especially
adding a little bit something different to the front of the pad other than just color scheme.
Exactly.
And because I think that could say a whole lot about the aesthetic of the the kick pads, when it has like this sort of armored look, or this just different look to it that most people don't have, and that's why I take pride in like some of the gear that I have, and that's kind of what makes me want to make another set of kick pads for myself, just to have something no one else has. And but yeah,
just keep doing it.
Just
Here's
keep making
collection
shit for myself.
of self gear.
Yeah, this is all for me, not for you.
Not for you.
Even though I have stuff, I can probably sell a couple things, like, because it can literally be the graphic designer gear maker table, where it's like the wrestlers on the show have a table at the event that they can buy their gear off of and wear it in that same show.
That would be sick.
Like, if you're my same size, sure, but no.
Just at the end of the show, just take them off and be like, they're for sale. What you thinking?
That's what I was actually thinking. I was like, I kind of hope I'm second or third, just so I can be on an intermission and, be there and just sell like the shit off my back.
I think it's great. More of that.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's my review.
Yeah, what I saw Wrestle Kingdom was pretty fun. Whatever I got to pay attention to anyway, and it was I really dug the Jericho and Omega match. It was really fun. And very inspiring, really helped my kick into especially going into having a match coming up. It's like give me a little bit of a boost.
Get those matches that pump you, man.
Yeah, and then even being able to like watch my own stuff that I didn't even know was on YouTube. After being kind of reminded like by someone who's been a real presence in my wrestling career, that has really made it somewhere now. That has really kind of reminded me of that, like I'm good. Like good. I was good in there.
Like you're really good, man. And don't worry about what you think mentally, because like I said, from what I hear, Omega's a lot like you. Yeah, he's a lot like us. And my boy Seth, he plays him in Street Fighter 5 online and shit. Yeah. So it's like fuck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that concludes the Break Knyte podcast for this time. This definitely is going to be live to tape. I'm going to try and post it as soon as possible. So, suck it. Follow us on the social medias at Amberland Studios for the Mr. Sean Iredales of the world.
Yeah, just follow us on Instagram and Facebook for right now, because we need a new website.
Yeah, for sure. And follow me at Break Knyte Creative on the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. And keep track of all the creative nonsense that I am doing. We love you. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy Honda days. Happy all of the days. And peace, love, and chicken grease. We are out. Stay creative. Bye.
Yeah.